And that was Read It and Weep.
That was a decent episode.
Read it and weep.
So I have to ask, hoodies in that universe are full body outfits?
Apparently there's actually an outfit for if you're in a particular profession. I can understand the doctors, because say you have to perform surgery, what if one stray coat hair falls in?
No! Yeah. This was a decent episode.
This was a okay episode. I mean, Rainbow Dash reads.
Yeah.
Woo.
I didn't know Rainbow Dash could read.
You didn't?
No.
Well, gee, have you seen the equestrian alphabet? Remember the happy birthday Pinkie Pie cake? What part of that said happy birthday? What part of that said Pinkie Pie? What part of that said anything?
Yeah, really.
As far as I know, the equestrian alphabet is nothing but scribbles for the most part.
Looks that way.
Yet somehow it's a full coherent language.
English.
I'm not going to nitpick, it's a cartoon.
So, what was my favorite part of the episode? Is her face going to stay like that?
Is her face going to stay like
We paused
that?
it there and just kept it there for a minute. That was great.
For this entire episode, I'm going to make your face derped.
Burp.
Nah, I'm not going to do that.
Too much work. That face, though.
That face, though. Is she going to stay like that is she going to stay like that forever? Just,
But my question is, was she like that the whole time she was out?
I'm pretty sure her eyes were closed before that.
And then, additionally, was she reading out loud through this whole entire episode? Every time you see her reading, she's reading out loud.
Yeah, I actually just noticed that, too. I just noticed that as you brought it up.
So what did her roommate think in the hospital?
I don't know. What the hell was with her roommate to begin with?
What happened to her?
Him?
Or him?
I'm guessing it's a him, considering the body type.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely too sure.
What the heck happened there? Or should I say, what the buck happened there?
What the buck, dude?
Plot hole.
I'm gonna go around calling people plot hole and saying, what the buck?
What the buck, plot hole?
What the buck, plot hole?
But yeah, this episode got kind of crazy when she goes to steal the book.
Oh, what do you think it's Screw Loose or Screwball or
that was
what the hell her actual name is? I'm going with Screw Loose here.
I don't even care what her name is. That was great. The face. This episode's full of great faces.
Hey, get it back to the hospital. The fact that she followed in the chase just to bark.
Yeah, really. And
Good girl.
Pinkie Pie. Why did nobody invite me?
To what? To what? A heist? Actually, she does get invited into a couple heists later on.
I bet she ruins it.
No, you'd be surprised there. Oh my god, I just realized what episode is next. Before we do 2112, we have to do this episode.
Let me read the description. I can't read it.
It's Hearts and Tubes Day. It's the Valentine's Day episode.
Big Macintosh?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and it's the only time you get to hear him speak.
Well, besides Applebuck
season. It's the only other time outside of Applebuck season that you actually get him to actually speak.
He injured his lumbar wearing a lady support garment.
Yeah,
Poor Mac.
A girdle, no less. He asked me what a girdle was. Sadly, I actually do know. It's a corset that's worn underneath the clothing. At least as far as my understanding goes. I'm, of course, a dude. I don't wear women's clothing.
Sure. He's a lumberjack and he's okay.
Hey, you've seen my outfits. Yes, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day.
Yep. See, what was my theory? That Big Macintosh
looks like
a lumberjack.
That would be impossible.
Yup. Nope.
Well, he does run around with a girl's toy, so.
Yeah. And I mean, the moon's pretty bright in this universe.
It is. Indeed.
I don't have much more to say about this episode except that...
Hang on, what about Daring Do? I like...
Related to Derpy.
I like Daring Do.
Daring Do is related to Derpy.
Daring Do is related to Ditsy Do. Or Derpy Do.
What if Derpy wrote that book under a disguised name?
There's actually, interestingly enough, a unicorn that has the same color scheme as Derpy.
Is it Derpy?
People nicknamed her Dinky Doo.
Dinky?
Dinky.
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 So if he got hit by poison oak, or she, and the thing went floppy, she'd be Floppy Dinky.
Oh, God. Yes. According to some of the fandom, I'm border on this one. Derpy has a daughter named Dinky Doo who is a unicorn.
Derpy's old enough to have a daughter?
I'd say
Well,
so.
we figured they're around early 20s to mid 20s, so maybe.
Yeah.
But back on the subject
But one
of the
that would
episode,
be like the Cutie Crusaders age.
everybody, reading is fun.
Reading is indeed fun. We are both very, very, I don't know, how much do you read, would you say?
As often as I can.
As often as you can, so long as it doesn't give you a headache with your little issue.
Dyslexia, yeah. Doesn't really give me a headache. I just have to look closer sometimes. Plus I need my glasses and I broke them.
You did?
Yeah. I slept in them and rolled over and...
Of all the times I fell asleep wearing my glasses, that's never happened.
Yeah, it didn't work out so well for me. But overall, I would say that I enjoyed this episode.
This was an enjoyable episode. Rainbow Dash. We get the bro of the crowd to actually read.
Bro. Rainbow Dash. Somebody
Rainbow
stole that
Dash.
from me. That was my
Nah,
idea.
nobody stole it from you.
It was my idea.
You're about 3 years too late.
It was my idea. You think you could beat me at fart noises?
Considering that you'd probably go for actual fart noises, I don't want to chance anything. Okay, moving on. So, what did you think of like the story of Daring Do?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
You mentioned something about Ali Zoli being the protagonist. Well, the good guy of it, and
Oh yeah, I thought, what if it's his thing and she's just trying to take it and he's just protecting it?
would he build an entire pyramid made of traps to do that?
To protect it? Yeah, why not? Oh, I had another thought too though.
Well, note how it was like a two-headed Anubis, and he clearly aligns himself more with cats.
Yeah. But, you know, what you mentioned. You remember you said, there are bones in their feathers on their wings.
Yeah, I actually had to pause this partway through the episode when they actually get a look at Rainbow Dash's wings. Her feathers themselves have bones in them, so I'm really curious as to how exactly does that work?
It was kind of funny because at the beginning of the episode I was saying I don't think ponies have bones because Pinkie Pie is twisting all over the place.
Yeah, Pinkie was twisting all over the place. Like, she was turning her head a full 360.
More than that.
More than that.
She went like to a 720. It was ridiculous. And then she let go and started spinning around. Maybe Pinkie doesn't have bones. Maybe Earth ponies don't have bones.
Nah, I think it's just Pinkie.
Yeah.
Something is just off with Pinkie comparative to the rest of the Earth ponies. By the way, I just realized we actually got another slight look at another male character in this.
The Doctor.
The Doctor, yeah. The
Yeah.
only other main character in the entire freaking show that we actually got well, this episode, I should say, that we got looked at.
Yeah. He seemed good.
Well, maybe her roommate in the hospital too at
We
the
don't
same
know.
time, but
Lazy
honestly,
itis.
we can't tell if that's male or female just with body type.
Possibly
I'm
neither
guessing
anymore
that's
at this
male.
point.
I'm guessing it's male because of the body type.
Well, it's so horribly destroyed. Possibly it might not even be either at this point. The Doctor, lazyitis. Come on. Lazyitis.
I think someone's got a case of lazyitis.
It wasn't out of laziness. It's that she didn't want to admit she was reading. You know, what did I say? This is how I reacted when I first started watching the show. It's how she reacted to reading. I can't admit to everybody that I watched the show.
You made the... Yeah, you had to make the parallel while we were watching that, this was your reaction to the show of, oh, I'll try it out, but I don't think I'll like it, and then suddenly, oh my god, I like it!
And I didn't want to admit it to anybody.
You still aren't willing to admit it to anyone
To some
besides
people.
me.
No, I've admitted to quite a few people.
Really?
Brownies mostly. I told Chris.
Chris?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't want to say his name live. I don't know if
V?
you like that. A G.
G? I don't think I know him.
Well, he knows you, so you probably know him. Red hair? Short?
I know
nose
so
ring?
many people, so it's possible. Hang on, red hair?
Yeah, nose
Curly?
ring. Yep.
Yeah, I know him.
Beethoven, I call him sometimes.
Yeah, I know him.
But he said, I don't care as long as, because he was under the impression that all bronies are furries. And I'm trying
No,
to
we
tell him,
aren't. I'm not that into the
I'm not a
fandom.
freak. I'm not a freak.
I would have to go with like the ears and the tail, but that's my extent with the furry thing.
I wouldn't do any of it. But the funny, he told me this story though, that he and a friend were at a hotel at one point, and they wandered into a furry convention.
Oh God.
I would probably just be like, ah!
What, if you met a bunch of furries?
And, you know,
I go out of my way at conventions to hug furries.
Why?
I don't know. I just do. Like, furry, I must hug!
They legitimately scare me.
Really?
The dead eyes. And
Man, that's only on the costumes.
it is?
Yeah.
I thought that's what they looked like.
No.
They wish. But anyway, back on the subject of the episode.
I'm pretty sure that if they actually looked like that, those would even blink. Well, if they actually looked like how their personas look, they would even blink.
They're plot holes. That's all I've got to say. Where can I plug this in?
Right behind you. Hang on, do you have a plug for that?
No.
I'll get one. You
There's
won't
one
have
over
to.
here.
No, I'm talking about one of those.
Yeah.
I forgot I had that one.
But anyway, back to the episode.
Yes. He
This
was
I
looking
would
for
put in my high
he was
middle
looking for
tier.
a charger for his phone, by the way.
Not for my phone, for my e-cig.
Oh yeah.
But overall, I put this in my high middle tier. It's not
High middle tier.
quite top tier, but I greatly enjoyed it.
It was an enjoyable episode. I mean, albeit it was pretty obvious where it was going to go.
Rainbow Dash, why are you stealing slippers?
Rainbow Dash, what are you doing?
Woof, woof. That just made me laugh so hard. We were both dying there.
I'm sorry, but to me, her name is Screw Loose. There is no ball at on her cutie mark, so Screw Ball doesn't work.
She followed them just to make that noise.
Yeah, she
That's something I
followed
would
him
do.
just to bark. Well, clearly she was a bit of a mental patient too. Note how she was wearing a hospital gown, not the
Equestrian
normal.
Mental Institution.
By the way, what do you think of the nurses' outfits in this? Just the hat.
Everybody's naked.
Yeah. So, which leads to even further of a question. Are you?
Why was Rainbow Dash wearing a hospital gown?
Why
She's
was
naked
Rainbow Dash
anyway.
wearing a hospital gown? And in the last episode, why did Fluttershy cover herself up?
Oh, and the noises she was making when she was eating.
Oh yeah,
nom,
when she
nom.
was when the nurse brought in the dinner.
I believe she spat it all out.
Yeah, I think she probably spat it all out
What the heck was that? What the buck was that?
to try and get rid of Rarity.
No, I mean, what the
Jack
buck
and
was the
Pete.
food?
Oh yeah, I know. It was just this pile of green slop.
Like my poop.
Ugh.
Sorry. But yeah, the face, oh my god, the noises she
If
was making
it's
were
coming
great.
out green and like that consistently,
There was hair on it.
I'd go and see a dietitianary.
Nom, 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 nom.
But yeah, Rainbow Dash, when she was trying to get rid of everyone while she was trying to hide the fact that she actually liked reading, that was a bit entertaining. For
And the
me,
scene
too.
where she's reading and like the voice of that big monster comes out as Pinkie Pie's, "Hello, Rainbow Dash!"
Hello, Rainbow Dash.
And then the monster says, I was like, what? It just
Could you
goes,
imagine if the monster actually said that in the book?
yeah, that would be pretty
Like the
creepy.
book would actually say, "Hello, Rainbow Dash."
At that point, I think they were giving her too much morphine.
Too much morphine to deal with the broken wing,
Yeah.
which has bones in the feathers.
Yes.
Hello, I still don't get that. Like, should her wing have been broken during May the Last Pet win?
Yeah, really. Well,
Maybe it
cut, like,
was, and
beyond
we
the
just
wing.
didn't see the hospital scene then.
Yeah.
Which would lead to the expression of, if she knew Twilight even back then, why didn't she get into reading before? Honestly, this would have been a better follow-up to May the Best Pet Win.
It would have. Is she always gonna make that face?
Is she always gonna make that face with the with the one lazy eye, the
She got
jumbled up mouth?
derpified.
Yeah, she got derpified.
Maybe that's why Derpy's like that. Maybe she crashed.
I don't know. She was doing some dazzling tricks, according to Rarity.
Not so dazzling anymore.
Apparently not.
How did she crash anyway? It didn't even show it.
Off screen, we don't know. We could just assume she crashed and she somehow landed on her wing.
I'm never going to forget that face.
You're never going to forget the face.
No. You paused it at just the right time.
I think I paused it for something and it just stuck on that face for a while.
Let's not forget the face Screw Loose was making when she was barking.
Which one?
I can't even, it's not possible to do it, but it just
I don't think it would even show considering we're doing an audio with ROCs. As a matter of fact, we're not even sitting in the same spot as ROCs considering I'm on my computer chair. Same upright, no less.
OCs, what are you talking about? This is real life.
You know what I mean when we upload this.
But yeah, overall, this was in my top middle tier. I wouldn't put it at the top, but I definitely put it at the upper middle.
Upper middle?
Mm-hmm.
Top tier is... I still can't break it from admitting that Bridal Gossip was a bit of a crappy episode.
I love that episode.
That's your favorite episode. The one that has the racism theme to it.
The tongue, the voice, the floppy horn, Rainbow Dash crashing everywhere.
Because her wings were upside down.
Yes.
Did you notice how they were coming from her stomach instead of her back?
Why didn't she just fly on her back?
I don't know. Apparently Applejack got that idea. Maybe she can't process things upside down when she's flying.
That would be difficult. And Flutter Guy.
And Flutter Guy.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
You made me sound
Okay,
ridiculous.
what's below Bridal Gossip then?
That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
So this is upper middle tier for you.
Yeah.
So you're starting to get not only tiers, but multiple tiers.
Yes.
At least with the middle, because you mentioned upper middle, a lower or top so far. I don't think what's on your bottom tier so far?
Believe it or not, the final episode of season 1.
Really? Best night ever?
Yeah, that one just didn't do anything for me. Except for Fluttershy going nuts.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Come on! Love me! Yeah, it's always fun to see them like go out and go. The Snap episodes are all my favorites.
The Snap episodes are great.
Twilight's was great.
Twilight's in season 0. Rainbow. No, wait, not 0. Rainbow. Rainbow didn't have a breakdown episode yet. Pinky and Party of 1.
Pinkamena.
Which I'm pretty sure is one of your favorites.
That would probably be my second favorite.
That's your second favorite, Party of 1? I'm surprised that's not your top.
Just because, like, just the scene when she goes crazy, it's like...
Everyone likes that. When the main inflates real quick and then deflates right away in Party of 1.
Rocky. It's a reference.
Yeah.
So you know who.
Meh.
Don't do that.
Ha! I got a hit. I finally hit him with the axe.
You can't do it. You're too drunk.
No, and nobody in the audience is going to see this anyway. Ha!
But anyway, back on subject. Rocky.
But yes, actually, back on the episode that we're currently talking about, Read and Weep. Mm-hmm. Okay, I already asked you what you thought of Daring Do.
Ditzy Doo's brother, sister. It's a girl, I forgot. Pony Anna Jones.
I'm surprised they didn't go with the... well, I can see why they didn't go for Pony Anna Jones, but clearly they were making the reference.
Yeah.
Like, it's painfully obvious.
Hello, Rainbow Dash.
Hello, Rainbow Dash. I was only singing that.
That was pretty great.
That was.
So, overall, I enjoyed this episode very much.
This was an enjoyable episode. There are bits and pieces here and there that are but still doable.
Woof, woof.
Yeah, I loved just the appearance of Screwless. Sadly, she doesn't show up any point later. I wish she did.
Yeah.
I don't
know, like something I would do.
What? Just follow the doctors to chase down a thief just so you could bark like a dog?
Yeah, really. So I brought this up earlier. Random discussion of the episode.
Okay.
Do ponies wear pants?
Do ponies?
Do pants exist in this universe? I've seen them with shirts, but never pants.
I do not think so. Well, then again, we have to keep wondering. Well, we already know where ponies go to. That
What a
ponies
wonderful
do actually
universe.
have a bathroom to go to.
Yeah?
Even though horses and equines, I should say, in our universe,
Just poop while they're walking?
yeah, they can't hold it. Their bowels don't actually have sphincters there. At least I don't think so.
Maybe they have sphincters.
Huh. I don't know. You chat while I look this up.
Yeah. But back on the subject, what was I talking about before this?
I have no idea.
Pants.
Yes.
What a wonderful universe where you never have to wear pants. Pants are oppressive. I'd wear a kilt if I could. If it was socially acceptable, I'd wear a kilt. Though I don't think anybody really wants to see that.
I prefer not to.
You're gonna one day. I'm being a Scotsman for Halloween. And I can play bagpipes. Did you know that? That's actually true. That's not something I'm making up.
Interesting.
I play several instruments. I play piano, guitar. I can't play the mandolin because my fingers are too big. I play bass. I play... What else do I play? I play a bit of drums. I play the computer. Play harmonica. I'm a very musical individual. He's looking up sphincters.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Horse sphincter. Plot sphincter. Plot.
Yes, I'm looking to see if horses actually do have a sphincter. Around, have an anal sphincter.
I have an anal sphincter. It doesn't work very well. Ruff.
Humpa.
Does anybody actually say that?
I don't know anyone that actually bothers to pronounce every single part of hump out.
Humpa.
Humpa.
Except rarity. Humpa.
And, nah, it's not saying anything about any possible equines having an anal sphincter, so they have to... You would think that they would be crapping wherever they could, but clearly the streets are way too well clean for that.
That's what they did in Pony.mov.
Pony.mov. Oh yeah, you're right, with Twilight.
Stay out of my shed! Stay out of my shed! Stay out of my shed!
I don't even think I can do the voice right enough. I don't have enough of a gut to do it.
Turn it out, guys! I'm shy!
Stay out of my shed!
Twilight, stop poking me with your thingy!
Hey, quit poking me with your thingy!
Hey!
But yes, Read It and Weep was overall a good episode to me.
Top middle tier, very close to the top tier.
I'd have to, the idea of getting the one friend that is so against something that you're against to actually be into it.
Rainbow Dash.
This would be like if we got James to actually watch this show.
Let's do it.
If only.
We get time down. Hold his eyes open, put drops in, and make him watch scenes of people dying, and make him sick every time you see someone die, and he'll be a good person again.
Okay, are we trying to commission him as a brony, or give him the Ludovic treatment? Ludovico.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, it's actually given a name. It's called the Ludovico treatment.
We're giving him the Ponavico treatment.
The Ponavico.
And every time he sees a pony, we will give him a puff of something like a cigarette or something he enjoys. Or a taste of cake. We'll put a chocolate in his mouth every time he sees a pony. But that might just give him diabetes.
I don't know, considering the internet, chances are he would have diabetes if we ever tried that one.
Yeah. But anyway, this was a good episode. I give it top middle tier.
Top middle tier?
Yes.
I don't exactly have a tier. I kind of just enjoy the episodes as they come.
So what's the next episode?
The next episode is...
2112.
Yeah, the next episode, we were on episode 43 of the whole series. And currently we're on Season 2, Episode 7, also known as Episode 43 according to Netflix here.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is Hearts and Hooves Day. It is a Big Mac episode.
Yeah.
I know he's your favorite background.
Yep.
And it also seems to feature a lot of Cheerly, too. The teacher. It's Kingdom Hearts Crusaders episode.
Yeah, I read the description.
Yeah, you already read the description. Hearts and Tuesday is I'd say.
But is that why she had the pimp hat?
What?
Because she's gonna be like doing stuff with Big Macintosh.
Who had the pimp hat? Cheerly?
Yeah, she.
Oh yeah, you're right. Cheerly did give Spike the white fedora.
Why did she have a pimp hat? She was
a-
grocery shopping.
No wait, it wasn't a white fedora. It was a white sun hat.
Yeah, a pimp hat. It was a pimp hat. Just say it. It had the feather. It had the popped up rim. It's a pimp hat.
It could easily have been a woman's sun hat.
But she gave it to Spike,
And
and it looked very manly.
and
It was a pimp hat.
and.
It was a pimp hat.
Imagine if Cheerly was wearing that hat. Considering she bought it,
Pimply.
she was getting it for
yeah.
herself. She just recently learned that episode that Spike was that it was Spike's birthday.
Spike's a brony.
Well, gee, he does live with Twilight.
Yeah. Not the book, the character. You know, I feel like if Twilight was in this
Well,
universe...
how would he? He might very well live with the book too, considering they're in the library.
True. But I feel like if Twilight was in this universe, she'd probably hate on that series, and she'd probably be more into Lovecraft and stuff.
Why do you say that?
Well, she's smart. Only idiots read Twilight.
Ha! We are so gonna lose some of our followers that way.
Why, do you suppose... No, see, this is a good show. Smart.
Whether or not Twihards follow us, I could really care less.
Twitards?
Twihards.
I call them Twitards.
Whatever. By the way, do you have a book that you'd want to suggest to our audience?
The complete fictitious works of H.P. Lovecraft.
Okay, so we got H.P. Lovecraft for him. My suggestion for this one, because again, the whole idea is reading is fun for this episode. A book that I would really suggest to a lot of people would be one called The Postmortal by Drew Madgery. It's a bit of an unknown novel. It was his first. It's his first one, and he was only a sports editorialist before that.
Yes.
But he covers a very, very fascinating idea of what if the human process of aging was eliminated,
Yes.
and all the social, economical, and
Political
adjustments that would have to be made for it, and exactly how would that run about?
Yes.
Because think that just within our country alone, the federal justices, the High Supreme Court, they're there for life. Imagine if aging was abolished.
They would be tyrannical.
They would be there for life. They would be there for until their bodies were destroyed. Pretty much.
Yep. Yep.
So, you got a random question for this episode?
I think I already asked it. I can't think of any more.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do ponies wear pants?
Yeah.
No.
I'd have to say no, yeah. Because they probably do poop while they're walking, but their poop is invisible.
Their poop is invisible. Would that mean that occasionally one of them would pick up their hoof, just sniff it real quick? Oh god, I stepped into something!
It'd have to be Rarity, because that would be the funniest.
Rarity.
This is the worst possible thing! Yeah, pretty much. Everyone else would be laughing, and she'd probably just be like, I want to die now!
Well, you'd have to think of it. It would be good fertilizer for, Nah, even better. They go to the farm. If they don't have a bathroom in their own place, they go to the farm.
Yeah.
They gotta fertilize the apple tree somehow.
With poop.
With poop.
Poop.
Lots of it.
Poop.
I think you're bending my axe there.
Sorry. Careful with that axe, Eugene. So anyway, I don't have anything more to say about this episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was an enjoyable episode. Read it and weep all together.
Is she gonna make that face forever?
Could you imagine if she actually did?
I would probably be dying for every episode.
At the beginning of this episode, we were just like, well, Rainbow Dash is dead.
Yeah, I remember. I said, well...
Rainbow Dash is dead and Pinky broke her own neck, yet still is alive.
Pinky broke her own neck. She's a quadriplegic. No.
Meh.
Everybody else kind of parted ways.
Yes, Rainbow Dash died. Pinky broke her neck and went insane. And the rest of the remaining 4, well, Pinky was already insane if you really think about it.
Yeah.
But yes, the rest of the
Kumquat.
Pickleberry Kumquat.
Jimmy Cherry.
I don't know, if you really think of it, do you think that the other main 5... Here's actually my random question for this episode. Do you think the other main 5 knew each other before Twilight moved to Ponyville?
Well, we know Fluttershy and
we know that
Rainbow Dash knew each other.
Pinky had to have known everyone because she knows the name of every single pony in the town by name.
Before that, we know Rainbow Dash thought she was annoying.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy clearly knew each other. They knew each other since fillyhood.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of mainly Rarity. Because everyone has to interact with Applejack in some way, considering that the Apple family does everything Apple-related.
Yes. So Rarity was the only one who didn't know anybody. No. Make me.
Give me the axe.
Tell me something funny.
Bleeble blobble blooble blobble.
All you had to say was...
Pickleberry Kumquat! Give it to me.
Fine, just don't hit me with it. Nope.
But heck, none of that's going to show up in the video anyway.
Give me the axe. Give me the axe! I'll give it to you! Stop cutting up my books!
Anyway, moving on. But yeah, do you think that the other main 5 knew each other? I mean, everyone had to have known Applejack in some way because she dealt with most of the food in the entire area.
And everyone had to know Pinkie Pie because she knows everyone.
Yeah, and Pinky knows everyone, so therefore everyone knows Pinky.
Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash
knew each other since fillyhood. It's mainly those 2 that I'm questionable of as to whether or not they knew, whether or not those 2 interacted with any of the others.
That's a good question.
Because if they're new friends, then how long have they all been living there?
Well, you know what they say. If you don't know somebody, don't bother to get to know them because they're crazy.
Really, if that were the case, then we would never be friends.
I don't know, but I am crazy.
True, so am I.
Kumquat.
Pickleberry Kumquat.
Pickleberry. What's a pickleberry?
I have no idea. Pickleberry Kumquat.
But yeah, I think they just kind of knew of each other and they didn't really
knew of each other, just never talked.
Except for, of course, Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash.
Because Ponyville doesn't seem like that big of a town, does it?
Oh, and by the way, I realized something else.
Huh.
Fluttershy was raised by wolves.
Fluttershy was raised by wolves. What led you to that conclusion?
Well, think about it. She doesn't have a last name. And she's named after butterflies, which she didn't discover until she fell back to Earth after they brought her up to Cloudsdale to teach her how to fly.
Yeah, but she was already at least about, maybe teens by that time.
She was raised by wolves. That's all I'm saying.
And plus, she didn't interact with wolves. She interacted with butterflies. As a matter of fact, the only wolves we've seen in this were the timber wolves.
Okay, then she was raised by tigers.
She was raised by butterflies.
She was raised in the wild. That's why she doesn't get along with other people. She just gets along with animals.
Hence why she lives in a cottage outside the village.
She was raised by animals.
And yes, I am calling Ponyville a village.
Does Rarity have a surname?
Actually, people have thought that it would have been Belle.
Yeah, really, because you don't know the parents' names.
Because we have Sweetie Belle. We don't. What are the parents' names? We don't have their names. At least not that I can think of.
So it'd be Rarity Belle.
Yeah, I think if there is a whole thing as last names in the Ponyverse, that her last name would be Belle. Because you have Sweetie Belle.
Does it ever show Rainbow Dash's parents?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they might show her dad. But that's way, way, way later.
So, but you think about it. Pinkie Pie, Pinkamena Diane Pie.
Pinkamena Diane Pie.
Twilight Sparkle.
Yeah,
Rainbow
which
Dash.
Sparkle is clearly the last name. Dash is clearly the last name. Applejack is of the Apple family.
Yeah. So then you got Fluttershy and Rarity.
Fluttershy and Rarity, in which Rarity we clearly see already with with at least a family. Whether or not her last name is there is questionable.
And then there's Fluttershy, who was raised by wolves.
Maybe there is a family name, just it's never mentioned.
Yeah.
Everyone goes by like their first and middle name, except for Pinkie Pie, who uses Pie, her actual last name.
Yeah. Pie.
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 Could you imagine having that last name?
Pie!
Matt Pie.
Matt Pie.
Matt Pie.
Maud Pie. Mud Pie.
Mud Pie.
But, anyway, we're veering way off
Yes,
subject
we're
here.
veering way off topic, and,
I think we've had too many
it's
drinks.
revealing that I've given you quite a slight number of spoilers.
No real spoilers.
Yeah, honestly, I can't really say that anyone probably has last name.
Except for...
Except
Fluttershy
for,
doesn't have a last name because she was raised by wolves.
yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not sure about last names overall in the Ponyverse.
I think some have and some don't.
Some have, some don't, maybe. That's my guess.
That's really all I have to say about this episode. The next one is Hearts and Hooves.
Yes, the next one is Hearts and Hooves Day, everyone. Valentine's Day
Yep.
episode. Big Mac and Cheerly hook up.
Hey, yep.
See you then.
Hey, yep.